School District for Monday, April 24th, 2023 to order. We will note that we are providing public access to meetings both in person.
I just had a call that said they could not get on and hear the streaming.
It hadn't started yet.
No, for the last meeting. They could not hear it. I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you. Okay. So we are allowing public access to meeting, but in person or also streaming via the web. We will begin with the ceremonial oath of office for elected board members, and Barb Portson, our clerk, will be welcoming our 3 new board members. If they could all come up by Barb for the ceremonial oath of office. Just come up here in front. Yep. Right in front of Dennis.
This is even though we've already done it?
No, you stay. It's the 3 new ones.
Why did I get one of
He-
those?
I think he's supposed to because I was given that by Carlin. Because he was
Just
reelected.
Okay.
Doesn't she have to?
Yeah, gee.
Because he's reelected.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, you too. I'm sorry.
Gee, you as
Yeah,
Just
you're up
told me
there
I
too.
didn't.
I'm sorry. No, you're up there too. That's right. Sorry. Yep. Sorry.
Just joking.
Or like we just like to say is never mind.
Yeah.
Dennis is right.
We're going to have you raise your
Yes, I got him.
And
Yep,
then
okay, I talked to him.
Together you can read your oath.
I, Dennis Santos, having been elected to the school board of the Stevens Point Area Public School District, swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
Thank you.
Barb was mouthing it as they were, like she had it memorized. Did you see that? Did you see that? Barb was mouthing it as they were, like she had it memorized. Yes.
Oh, see, that was fun.
Instinct. Same to you.
Okay, so we will move into then our meeting opening and roll call. And I will be asking Amber to do the roll call, please.
Mr. Robbie?
Here.
Ms. Portson?
Here.
Mr. Pope?
Here.
Mr. Summers?
Here.
Ms. Erler?
Here.
Ms. Rano?
Here.
Mr. Kowalski?
Here.
Mr. Campos?
Here.
Ms. Bushman?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, excellent, thank you. If everyone could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will move into item 5, which are public comments. We are currently allowing public comments via email as well as in person. Did we receive any written email comments?
No written email.
No
comments.
written email comments, all right. We do have one individual who has signed up to speak, and that is Chris Scott on agenda item number 6.
Hi, could you read that agenda item out loud, please?
It is the selection of form of vote. The board shall choose their method of voting for board officer positions. Options include written ballot with initials, secret written ballot, no initials, or roll call vote.
Okay, thank you. Chris Scott, 3340 Whiting Avenue, Stevens Point. I want to encourage the board, from my experience and many years, to be completely transparent. I think it's really important when you're making votes on the officers of this board that you share that information by allowing your initials and allowing the community to have access to those votes. I think all of you realize how important trust and transparency is. So I encourage you to make sure you don't try to hide that in any way from the board members that you serve with or from the community. because I promise you that would not be a good thing. I've done this long enough that I tell you it's really important, especially with what's coming, like a referendum, that this community understands they can trust what you're doing and that you're being totally transparent with what you do. Those votes should be public information. You shouldn't be there's no reason to hide it or keep it secret. So I just wanted to tell you it's really important from my perspective that you do that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. So we will be moving into item 6, which is voting method, selection of form of vote. I did receive a request from a board member to place this on the agenda. That is why it is on the agenda. I can say we reached out to our attorney to determine what our legal options are with respect to this vote. What our district has been doing for the last number of years with respect to these votes is we have chosen to do a written ballot with initials, just like we did with the appointment process. So those votes are taken during the meeting, initials are put down. After the meeting, those votes are open to the public. Another option for voting, which Shane, our attorney, indicated, is just a roll call, just an open vote. A number of districts in the state do that. So that is another option for this board. Shana indicated that the vast majority of boards in our state choose one of those two options. The third option is a very specific exception in state law that allows the votes for officer for a school board to be secret written ballot, no initials. That means once the votes are taken, they are retained by the district, but they are secret. They are not available for the public or for other board members to review. So those are the three options. I guess I'll tell you my personal opinion. I think it's very important that we provide that information to the public, that we make it open. I think it's really important that the votes we take on this board are all transparent and open to the public. Even with our closed session votes, we come into open to take votes so that at least in my experience on this board, every vote that I have been a part of us taking has been available and open to the public under open records. I will note there's another option for voting, just because we'll be moving into that the broader thing further on, and there have been a couple times in the years I've been on the board where if there is one nominee for a position, we as a board have a choice to take that vote by acclamation. What that means is that we have the ability to, as a board, say, you know what, either for a particular position or for a slate, we will make the decision to just vote, as a group. In the event we are in that situation with this board, any board member has the ability to request that any one of those officer votes be pulled out and voted on, or all of them be pulled out and voted on in, by ballot or by oral versus by acclamation, which again is just a voice vote like we do with a lot of our votes at meetings. So I guess I'm going to open it up to the board if board members have any comments.
I have a comment. So I did check with WASB, and to your point, Meg, the Wisconsin State Legislature does specifically state that the only time we can use secret ballots is for the election of officers. I checked on best practices, and I checked with board members at 3 neighboring districts, and they all vote secret ballot. And I don't think that it has anything to do with hiding or transparency. I'm very transparent, but best practices state the reason that this law was written is so as to not intimidate nor influence any potential member of a particular board or body of government. And going forward, I mean, it's just, you can move on quicker with like no hard feelings. I've been through this process once. There were hard feelings last time, and so my recommendation is secret ballot.
There are two methods of open ballot, right? One written,
One
But
is
with
written
initials,
initials. Mhm.
and then the other one is a roll call vote.
That's correct. Do any other board members have any?
I do.
Yes,
Can you
Dennis?
hear me?
Yes?
Yeah, I'm not sure where our attorney got her data from as far as indicating that it's a rarity to have a secret ballot. I served in 4 districts, and all of them had secret ballots. I don't think it's inappropriate. I think it's in the law for a reason. I don't think the public is going to be insulted by the fact that we have a secret ballot. It's very common in both county and city and village. That is not uncommon for a vote for officers to be a secret ballot. I think it's appropriate. I support it.
Barb?
I would agree with Dennis and with Jen. When we vote for president, we don't have to tell anybody who it is, who we voted for. That's our right in a democracy. We have the right to vote for an office, I think, by secret ballot without initials.
Do any other board members have any comments or questions with respect to the subject matter of what we're talking about?
Well,
Ted?
I can see your point about the secret ballots. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that's what we do routinely for political office. On the other hand, it's like the comment too, transparency is one of the things that I've learned in my orientation for the board is something that is very important too. Being new, I haven't had a lot of time to reflect on which is better of the two, but I can see both sides of the coin.
I had a question. Jen, you mentioned the last go-around. Was that secret ballot, or was that ballots with initials?
Ballots with initials, so board members could check to see who voted for whom.
Really? Mm-hmm.
And they
people
did, yes.
Really?
Excuse me. We need to make sure we're talking in the microphone because Dennis can barely hear us.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Dennis.
Unless, sorry, he won't pick you up on the microphone because he's on that speakerphone.
Oh, so we just have to speak louder. Okay, okay.
I guess just a comment, since I'm very, very new to this. I can understand Chris's comment about the transparency piece, but I also understand that, the public, in most of your cases, has voted you here and trust that you're going to make certain decisions that are going to be private. And to Jen's point about, in order to be a functional board, everybody does have feelings about certain things and will feel a certain way about a particular, especially for like officers. I definitely think that it can influence people knowing that somebody might be offended or might take something the wrong way. That's a human reaction. So I think in the interest of keeping a functional board, some people will be upset about that from the transparency perspective, but we're looking at this from the board's perspective exclusively right now. And we don't want people to have hurt feelings. We want it to be democratic, and there's a value in the secrecy of it. If we were voting on bigger things that affect the district at large immediately, yes, we need to be held accountable for what we're voting for. Totally get it. And you see that in a democracy. We see that in referendums, or not on a local referendum, but so I don't see a problem with officer voting being private, specifically so people don't have potential hurt feelings as a result. Because it does influence decisions, and it may not be a good influence.
Judy?
So I understand the transparency, and
keeping things secret. Although if we are truly a board and if we could be well functioning, we may want to be in a certain position, but if we're not voted in that position, we still know that we went up against somebody, correct? I mean, so having that transparency of knowing who we vote for should not impact how we work as a team, whether we get into a position or not. So I would be comfortable either way.
Do any other board members have any comments?
I would say as far as hurt feelings goes, time to be big boys and girls. You could hurt my feeling, wouldn't change. If I wanted to vote for you, I'd vote for you anyway.
I agree, but that's also you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll agree with G. I mean, we take tough votes all the time. The vote for officer is similar to votes that this board has taken in the past, where there are fundamental, and frankly, very rarely does it happen. The vast majority of the votes, at least in the last several years, have been unanimous votes with the board. That being said, we have had votes in the past that were tough votes, that were split votes, that there was a lot of disagreement, a lot of discussion, and ultimately a split vote. And the question we asked when we started, that we put towards our applicants tonight was, again, you know, what's happened in the past with you where, you know, a group has made a decision or you made a decision and you're unhappy with it, you know, how do you handle that? And to me, we're elected to take the tough votes, to be open to the public about the votes we've taken, and to move on in the best interest of this body. And so this really isn't just about a board vote. This is about a vote that impacts our community, as every other vote does. And I think, again, I feel very adamantly, I'm okay with roll call. I'm okay with the paper with the initials as we've done in the past. I cannot support a secret vote on anything with respect to this district. Just because the law allows it doesn't mean it's in the best interest of our board, of our community, of our district.
May I make a motion? Or I think we've all spoken.
Does anybody else have any comments they'd like to make?
You should get a motion on the table anyway before we discuss.
I motion to approve secret ballot as the method of voting for officer positions.
I'll second.
So I have a motion by Jen and a second by Barb. Is there any additional discussion on this motion?
I think that your comments previously about this board and what G said too about putting on the big boy pants, and I think that's appropriate. So just add that comment.
Are there any comments among board members? Since there appears to be disagreement, I'm going to ask for a roll call vote.
Explain what a yes and no vote means.
So yes means that you are voting for a secret written ballot, no initials, so the vote will not be accessible to the public. Or to, well, we're part of the
members,
public,
yeah.
or the board members. And a no vote will be that you do not want to vote for a secret written ballot, no initials. Any other questions about the motion? All right, could you go ahead and do that roll call, please?
Ms. Rano?
No.
Mr. Summers?
Yes.
Ms. Portson?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
No.
Mr. Campos?
Yes.
Ms. Erler,
No.
Mr. Pope,
No.
Mr. Robbie,
Yes.
Ms. Bushman,
Yes.
5 for yes and 4 for no.
Okay. So we will move into item 7, which is the selection of temporary chair. Traditionally, we have appointed our superintendent as the temporary chair to run the president vote. And then once that vote is completed, the president will be seated, and then they will pursue the remainder of the agenda. So I am looking for a motion to appoint Superintendent Hirschbrunner as the temporary chair.
So moved.
Second.
So I have a motion by Ranow, and I have a second by Jen. Any discussion or question on that motion?
Great choice.
All those in favor with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed with nay? All right, motion carries.
Okay, so thank you for the honor and the responsibility of serving in this role. I appreciate it very much. The following procedures will be followed for the nomination and election of the board president. So I will announce that nominations are open for the office of president. Nominations will be accepted from the floor by any board member. After each nomination, I will announce the individual that has been nominated. I will then call for additional nominations, a second and a third time. If there are no further nominations, I will announce that nominations are closed. If only one candidate is nominated, the board may elect by acclamation so long as a board member makes that recommendation, similar to what Meg talked about earlier. If more than one candidate is nominated, a secret ballot will be taken by each member of the board. If no candidate receives a majority, voting will continue. Candidates who were nominated will remain on the ballot unless they voluntarily withdraw. The superintendent and the board secretary will tally the votes if necessary. And upon election, I will announce the new president. At that point, then, the new president continues on with the nomination process. Any questions? Okay. If there are no questions, I will take nominations for the office of president.
I nominate Jen Bushman.
Okay. Other nominations for president?
I nominate Barb.
Barb has been nominated for president.
I'll
Decline?
decline that. Thank you, Jean.
Are there any further nominations for president?
He's still there.
Are there any further nominations for president? If there are no further nominations, nominations are now closed. And we will take a vote unless there's a motion to take that by acclamation.
Make a motion to take it by acclamation.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Ted, second by Barb. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Too new.
Congratulations, Jen, as our new board president.
Let me clap.
Okay, thanks. So now you get to move on to do the next, which is similar to what I just did.
Okay.
So you just start with,
Okay, nominations are now open for the office of vice president.
I nominate Dennis.
Okay, Mr. Robbie is nominated. Any additional nominations?
I'm going to nominate Ted.
Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? If not, nominations are now closed.
Yep, we can either do it by acclamation again or by secret ballot.
No, we have two.
Yeah, we have two.
Right, we have two.
candidates.
Yeah,
Thank
okay,
you.
so
Sorry.
we're gonna move on to secret ballot.
Yep.
Thank you.
And no initials on this, correct?
No initials, just who you choose.
Office of VP. Put the office of VP on there too, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, Amber will come in.
And then I think a little dish.
St. Mary's Jackson today.
She shouldn't be, it's disruptive. That's why when she was talking about it, she was supposed to talk back there, I said, you don't get to.
We have a majority. Dennis received 7 votes and Ted received 2.
That's Dennis.
Hey Dennis, Robbie is now our new vice president.
Congratulations, Dennis.
Thank you.
All right, so nominations are now open for the office of treasurer.
Clerk?
Clerk is last.
Clerk's
Oh.
next.
Nominate Judy.
Are we doing treasurer or clerk?
We are treasurer.
Different on the sheet.
I nominate Judy.
Okay, so, Ms. Ranow is nominated. Any additional nominations?
I think he
I'm sorry,
nominated,
can you repeat that? Who are the nominees right now?
G nominated Barb.
Oh,
No, I
no,
nominated
Oh,
Judy.
you-
Yeah.
Judy.
Judy
Oh.
has, Judy has 2
I didn't hear
nominations
that.
on the floor.
Okay.
Oh, see, I didn't hear that either. Sorry, Chief.
Yeah.
They like you.
Any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? If not, nominations are closed. So now I think we can vote by acclamation.
Could I just note, and it's not about this, it's just, and again, it's up to this board to make the decision, and Jen, you can, but traditionally, we've had the individual that was treasurer also be chair of business services. It just creates efficiency in the system that the person that's in that treasurer role also is in business services. So I just put that out on the floor.
Well, Judy has indicated you're interested in the chair of business services
That's correct.
already.
Yep.
That's correct.
I move that we approve Judy as treasurer by acclamation.
Second? Anyone second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Congratulations, Judy.
Congratulations, Judy.
Thank you.
Okay, nominations are now open for the office of clerk.
Nominate Barb.
Ms. Portson has been nominated. Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Not. Nominations are closed. Be looking for a motion to vote by acclamation.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Congratulations, Barb.
I'm honored.
Okay, so I think we're moving on to item number 10, which is the appointment of board members to standing committees.
So on the board,
Nope, 9.
Actually, chairs of the committees.
Oh, chair, sorry.
So on the board, I wrote down all of the information that came from the survey that Carlin had sent out to each of you, indicating your preference for committees as well as committee chairs. So the educational services and business services are our 2 standing committees where we ask for committee chairs. So those that have expressed an interest in being a chair on the Educational Services Committee is Jen and G, and Judy has expressed an interest in being a committee chair for Business Services. I will state that in the past, also, the board president generally has not served on a committee or been a chair, but again, Jen, that's up to you to.
I'll withdraw.
Okay.
Dennis, are you able to hear all of this?
I am. Thank you very much. So far, so good.
So currently, we have 2 individuals. G is interested in serving as Educational Services Chair, and Judy as Business Services Chair, unless there was additional interest at this time.
Is there anyone else on the board that's interested? I can't see the board from here. So is there anybody else who has expressed interest in serving in either of those capacities on the board or in the slips?
No.
No.
Okay, thank you.
I make a motion to approve G as the chair of Ed Services and Judy as the chair of Business Services.
Second.
Quick. Good job. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, congratulations.
Congratulations to G and Judy.
Do we need to go back and appoint board secretary?
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. Number
Carlin.
8.
Yeah.
Number 8 on the agenda.
It's not on the agenda.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this would be Carlin.
Wow.
Okay. So we're looking for a motion to appoint a board secretary. Carlin has been serving in that capacity.
Move to approve Carlin as secretary, school board secretary.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Okay.
Good job.
She's not here. We could probably approve her for every position.
That point, G, I'll let
That
her
would
know
fix her
that.
for going on.
Don't show up,
vacation.
that's what you get.
Vacation.
Actually, we told her the plan was that we were going to elect her to be in that position for the rest of her lifetime, but she didn't seem real interested in that.
Okay, so we are moving on to item number 10, appointment of board members to standing committees. So we have interest in standing committees listed on the board.
You can take me off of the educational services.
How many are typically on each one?
We generally have 4 on each one, and then the board president does not serve on either, generally.
Please add Meg.
I'm interested in Business Services.
Say add Meg there.
I would like to continue in business services, finance.
So then that would leave
4 and
Dennis,
4.
Yeah.
G, Miguel, and Alex
So
for Ed Services?
No, so
oh,
Ed
sorry.
Services would be Dennis, G,
Barb,
Barb,
and
and
Alex.
Alex. And Business Services would be Judy, Miguel, Meg, and Ted.
Okay, so
You good with that?
can we vote by acclamation? Okay, so motion to vote by acclamation.
Motion to vote by acclamation,
Second.
standing committees.
That's actually just a all in favor. It's
Okay.
just a regular vote, so
Okay.
just, so the motions, so I'll make a motion to have Dennis, G, Barb, and Alex comprise the Ed Services Committee, and Judy, Miguel, myself, and Ted to comprise the Business Services Committee.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
There he is.
All right, so
What
moving on.
Can I ask, what's at the bottom down there?
That's
Chair.
the chair.
Oh, okay.
Okay, moving on to item number 11, item number 12, appointment of board members.
Nope, it's this one.
Oh,
Nope.
selection of board members and committee meeting dates and times. So typically, we currently do hold the regular board meetings on the second Monday of the month, and we do start at 6:30. That's the current time. And for committee meetings, it is always the first Monday of every month. Ed Services currently is at 6 p.m., and Business Services and HR is currently at 7 p.m.
Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, right.
Is there a problem, Judy?
So far.
No problem. I was just wondering if we wanted to move it, if people were able to move it up a half hour.
To 6 o'clock rather than 6:30?
For the
that?
board
For
meeting?
board meetings or
No,
for?
committee meetings.
Half an hour earlier, right?
So then,
5:30 and
5:30?
6:30?
Yeah.
That's what I'm checking. I'm just asking.
I like
That'd
that.
be good.
Again, that would
5:30
certainly
to
help
6:30.
out our
That's what I was
administration
thinking.
staff.
I was thinking the staff
then they
having
can-
to wait, yeah.
Okay, so then the recommendation is start Ed Services. If we keep Ed Services at the first one, it would be at 5:30. Business Services, HR at 6:30.
Yes.
Could we do that with the stipulation that if it becomes a problem,
We bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
can at least come to the board and ask for it to be
Absolutely.
changed? Okay.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay, so we are looking to approve the recommended date and time. So let me just go through the recommendations. The regular board meeting, second Monday of each month at 6:30, so keeping it at 6:30. The committee meetings, first Monday of every month, if the board's okay. Educational services at 5:30. Business services and HR at 6:30. I'm looking for a motion to approve.
I'd like to at least have a discussion about the 6:30 regular board meeting time. Does that,
Well, do
Those
we-
of you
do we
who
have to
work.
Wait for a second to discuss this, or can we, because,
Well, he said so moved, so we're open to, now we can
oh,
open.
all
for-
right,
yeah.
all right.
What are you
What were
proposing?
you proposing? Yeah.
Moving it to 6 or
like,
5:30?
probably 6. Again, it would be more of a concern, those of you who work. So,
I think it's also been 6:30 just for the general public, because they're members of the general public who work and, family obligations, dinner, whatever. So I know that, I'm not saying we can't change it, but I think traditionally it's been to ensure that that board meeting has that accessibility for families in our community.
I agree with
Members
Meg.
of the public.
I think 6:30 gives people a chance to get home, take care of the kids, and we're hoping that more and more of our parents get involved in the educational process. So I think if we bump to 6 o'clock, that gets pretty tight.
okay, I'm good with that.
Are you good with that? Okay. So motion was by
There wasn't one yet.
Dennis.
No.
Dennis.
Yes.
Dennis,
Yeah, Dennis did.
Yeah, Dennis motion.
What was the motion?
for 6:30, to approve
Yeah, to
that.
approve it as.
Okay.
6:30, 5:30, and
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Dennis, second by Meg, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Moving on to item number 12, appointment of board members to ad hoc committees.
So on the board, we have 4 ad hoc committees currently. We've got our Boston School Forest Committee, our CISA 5 Delegate Committee, our Standing Technology Steering Committee, and then WASB Delegate Committee. And we do have people interested that are serving on those, that are interested in serving on those committees. So for Dennis, the 3 people interested in Boston School Forest are Barb, Judy, and Miguel. The CISA 5 delegate, Ted. Technology Steering Committee, Judy and Miguel. And WASB delegate, G.
You can take me off Boston School Forest.
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay, so it looks like Miguel,
We've both
We've
had
both done
several
it.
opportunities to do that.
Okay.
So Corey, when you say committees, A WASB delegate is not a committee, it's just one person, right?
It's one person that represents the board at the delegate in January.
But the other ones have real committees of several people?
The CISA 5 is also just a delegate representing our board, and Boston School Forest does have an advisory committee, and we have one board member that serves on that advisory committee.
And the same with the technology.
Technology
steering.
committee has one board member that serves on a committee.
Okay.
So, Miguel, because we have you at
interest in
Boston
that?
School Forest, do you want to remove yourself from the technology committee? So we have one for each of the,
Oh, I see. So it can only be one. Okay. Yeah. Then I guess I have to do that.
Which would you rather?
what do you prefer?
I can stay on. Well, I prefer the technology, but.
Then I'll remove my name from that one and you can,
Are you,
yeah.
Are you sure? Okay.
Although I'm starting to get a complex because everything I had.
No, I know. I'm like, he thinks I'm following her. I know. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. We've got similar interests.
No, then Barb can go Boston School Forest. I think I will be plenty busy with the
Business.
treasurer and the business
Okay.
services committee. I think that will fill my plate full.
Sorry, Barb.
I love that place.
So I think we can take a motion to approve Barb for Boston School Forest.
I'll move them all. So the ad hoc appointments of board members, Barb to Boston School Forest, Ted to CISA 5 delegate, Miguel to Technology Steering Committee, and G to WASB delegate.
Second.
Motion made by Meg, second by Judy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Moving on to item number 13, general information and or action. So upcoming school board meetings, we have May 8th, school board meeting, Monday, May 8th, Monday, June 12th. And then we do have the board retreat tentative. So I don't know if that's been confirmed. So tentative date?
We wanted to check with the new board members to see if that date works. So if June 26th does not work for you, will you please reach out to me and let me know since Carlin is absent?
What day of the week is that?
Just a second.
And the times that we had?
The location.
Yep.
Location would be.
The location will be
My
determined.
backyard, okay.
It's a Monday, G.
Monday?
Monday.
Okay.
And did we have times?
We don't yet. I think we've generally started that earlier.
It's been like 5:30. There's been like food, maybe a little social, and then a program part. But I know we've talked about so much is on the plate for this next year that this may be the first of a couple.
Two-part series.
Yeah, I think
Maybe we have a week-long retreat.
we're always dumping stuff in there
Yep, we
that
have.
we think is really important. And you had mentioned one time that we can have more than one. If I
Absolutely.
think it's necessary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And so if we okay this doesn't mean we
No.
can't come back and say, can we meet
Correct.
again?
Correct.
Okay, and then just as a reminder for the upcoming committee meetings, the next committee meeting will be next Monday at 5:30 for Ed Services, 6:30 for Business HR. All right, so then with that, any questions or comments there?
I move we adjourn.
Barb, motion. Would like to second?
Second. Sorry.
By Miguel.
You want to stay longer?
I'm having a great time.
I just had one question.
Yes.
We had talked about that working group legislative. Did we want to wait?
Yes, I'm going to send out an email
Okay.
in regards to that. Yep.
Okay, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. Congratulations.
Thank you.